everybody can't really afford to keep a therapist or like take help of someone,
Yeah.
right?
Right, right,
Therapies sometimes are expensive, so like
right.
hmm, providing them some help.
Okay, so you want to be able to give them valuable information via your podcast. That is
Yeah.
correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess we can
And
start.
sure, sure.
हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू इट्स नेवर टू लेट पॉडकास्ट। ये हम लोग का पहला पॉडकास्ट है जो हम लोग फेस टू फेस कर रहे हैं। वी आर रिकॉर्डिंग इट, वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग इट। सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट एपिसोड दैट वील बी पोस्टिंग ऑन यूट्यूब एज वेल एज स्पॉटिफाई. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and like it, and make sure you give us recommendations on how we can improve it. Today we are deviating from our theme, which is our theme is basically more relative to education, more relative to studies and that aspects of life. But in the light of recent events of Sushant Singh Rajput, there are so many young people out there who now feel that they want to talk to someone, they want to clear out their heads, they want to make sure that they get help. And this is the platform. By this episode, we want everyone, we want all the people watching, if you know someone or if you are in trouble, please watch this episode pura. We have Mr. Vinay with us. He himself suffered through a lot when he was when he was a child, when he was a teenager. Unke family mein bhi bahut issues hue, and he himself has been through that stage. He himself has come out of that stage, reading books and trying to understand what it is all about. So today we have him here. We'll be asking him some questions, and he'll be answering those questions. And we have Ruturaj, our host, and I
Hi.
think we can begin with
And
this
Vinay
podcast.
himself has written a book.
Oh, that's nice.
So for-
Can you
yes,
can you tell us something about your book?
Yeah, sure. So the title of the book is "The Power Is Yours."
Mm-hmm.
It was inspired by Captain Planet. I think growing up in the 90s, everyone knows who Captain Planet was.
Yeah.
So the book is basically your A to Z guide to your personal power, how to achieve things and how to get the best out of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally in a book, you will see chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. In my book, the chapters are not numbered; they are as per alphabet. So there's a chapter from A to Z, 26 chapters
Okay.
for 26 concepts.
That's nice.
Okay. So like a complete set.
Yeah, like a guide, like a life guide that you keep with yourself whenever you are going through something. For example,
That's nice.
one of the chapters is balance. So if you are feeling that you are a little imbalanced in life, you just open that chapter, read it up, and you are
Oh,
back
that's
to
nice.
Nice.
So it's like a guidebook. Like for every problem, there's a solution, and solution is a chapter.
correct.
Okay, that's a nice concept. So we have some questions for you. I think we'll just start with the questions because there are a lot of questions that the people outside, they need to clarify, they need to begin on it with. So I guess Ruturaj will start with the questions, and we'll further get into the talk of it.
Acha, so like the first question is, what is mental health? So like for beginners or someone who is just like, doesn't know the actual definition. So how would you define mental health?
Just like you define physical health, it is
Okay.
the good state of your body. Mental health is a good state of your mind.
So what does
That's-
good state of your mind means? Is it like you're happy? Is it you're tension free? Like what exactly is it?
So a good state of your mind means how well you are able to think, what are the kind of thoughts that you are having, and how positive you are about things, and about how good you feel. That is a good state of mind, basically.
Good by doing what? Like doing bad things if that makes you feel good?
There's a difference between pleasure and happiness.
Okay.
Doing bad things might give you some pleasure for some time, but later on the remorse will take over somewhere or the
That's
other,
correct.
and that will lead you in the exact opposite direction of happiness.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you feel like mental happiness or mental strength is in any way related to success or in any way related to the freedom? So like, what do you relate it more with, the success part or a freedom part?
So basically, firstly, the definition of success is very different for everyone.
Yes.
Some people just define success as the kind of achievements that they get, the kind of goals that they achieve, the amount of money they make, some even related just to money. And that is where I think most of the people are going wrong. Success is not only about one area or another. Someone might define it by the kind of physical health that they hold. Some may define it by their bank balance. Some may define it by the awards that they have won. But it's none of those individually. Success is a combination of true balance in each and every area of your life.
So everybody has their own definition of success, right?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So the original question, like, is success related to the mental strength?
It absolutely is. Firstly, the definition itself matters, because if someone just defines success as achievement at their job, and if every other area of their life is in mess, then it's not going to lead to mental happiness.
Yes.
But if you truly want a longer lasting success, then I think the basis is being mentally stable, being mentally happy, because then you can even think better, you can even plan your life better if you are thinking more clearly, and that leads to a longer lasting success. It's not just like hitting a century in one match and then being out of the squad after the tournament. We Indians relate a lot to cricket examples. So
Yep, absolutely.
So basically, good mental health is a necessity for lasting success. That is what I believe.
Okay, so any myths about mental health? You would feel that the masses think that this is the truth, and which is not actually.
Can you just repeat your question? I lost you.
So the masses, there are so many myths amongst the masses. So any myths would you like that कि भाई ये नहीं है, ऐसे सबको ये लगता है कि ये सही है, लेकिन नहीं, ऐसे नहीं होता.
So the most common one I think is money can buy you happiness. Money can give you happiness. That's the most common one that I have heard of. And while it is more comfortable sleeping on a bed than sleeping on the street, that is just related to your bodily comfort. That is not related to happiness at all. So comfort is for the body, happiness is for the mind. So a lot of people think if I am rich, if I am successful, then I am on top of life, and some even think that I am God. And as you yourself said, the recent example of Sushant Singh Rajput that has shaken the entire nation. That is a perfect example of how someone who is successful, who is good at what they are doing, really good, but if they do not take care of their mental health, this is what can happen.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
And this is a very, very serious issue, because in my own circle, the brother of one of my friends, 25 years old. Now, when someone is 25, do you really think that they can be depressed? Because when I was 25, all I was doing was relishing life. But what is happening is, the more we move into technology, the more we move into our screens, laptops and phones, the more importance we give to social media than our actual life. Loneliness is starting to increase. While someone might have 5,000 Facebook friends, at the time of need, there might not be anyone to talk to.
That's correct.
Because those people are just there to like your good moments.
That's accurate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, coming to the main question of the episode, there are so many people who suffer through anxiety, depression, and so many various other things that even I don't even know about them, but they suffer through them, all related to their mental state of well-being. So, so if a person is suffering through anything, be it mental depression or anxiety or stress or whatever it is, what do you think that person should do? And we are imagining that he has no one to talk to about it, or even if he has someone to talk to about it, he's not, or she's not ready, or she's not willing to do so. What do you think their next step should be?
So we should talk about the most used term these days, depression. So basically what people think is someone who is not having a good mental state is depressed.
Okay.
So that is what I hear. Either you are happy or you are depressed. There's no in between these days.
Okay.
And that is the problem. When the generation that is our elder generation, when they were our age, I don't think this word existed. This word depression even existed.
Exactly.
So this has come more when people have stopped talking to those around them and have started being into their phones.
Okay.
Some of these ideas might not seem very familiar to you, but this is what I have observed. These are my thoughts.
So you're saying technology is the root cause of all of this? Like bad use of technology?
Bad use of technology, yes. Because see, there's a lot of good uses of technology. Without it, we would not have been able to connect like this, like we are right now. So, but people are not being taught how to use it properly.
Okay.
Exactly. Right use is very important.
Because even now in schools, I don't think there is a chapter, there is a lecture that teaches you on how to use technology, how to use social media. They are just teaching you how to code, how to become a programmer, but no one is teaching you how to actually use those things to your benefit, not so that they harm you. So coming to the question, if someone is not there to talk to you, which I think if you are willing to talk, there is always someone.
Yeah, that's true.
If no one, then there's your parents, who can be the best guide you ever had. It's just that we are not programmed to trust them, and we think we know better than them. That is the problem with today's generation. So keeping that in mind, even if you are shy, if you don't like talking to others about your problems, it's completely fine. A lot of people feel that way. So there are few things that I have learned through my own experiences, which I would like to share with you. One is lack of sunlight, lack of exposure to sunlight. That is one of the biggest factors of being depressed.
Okay.
And this is not very widely known or endorsed. If you go and see some statistics about European nations where they have 3 months at a stretch, night, there's no day, there's no sun. That is the time when most number of depression cases are coming up.
Okay.
So this is one of the biggest factors, because we are programmed to stay indoors. Switch on the AC, work on your laptop, work on your phone, and not go outside for things. That is a big factor that is leading to depression these days.
Okay.
Second is everyone has a body clock. So usually the body clock would be sleeping between 10 and 6, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Taking 6 to 8 hours of sound sleep. There are a lot of people who say that you need to sleep for 8 hours minimum. I don't think that's true, and I have myself experimented with it.
It depends upon the person, I suppose.
It depends upon the person, and that is my point. Everyone must experiment with their body and see what their body clock is. what time.
And every day you don't need the same amount of sleep, right? There might be
Absolutely.
days where you need some less sleep.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely. But there is a bare minimum that you need, and even if you sleep for 3 hours, that's absolutely fine if it is peaceful sleep.
Okay.
So if you are sleeping like a baby, then I don't care if you sleep for 3 or 4 hours on a couple of days, it is not going to matter. You are going to feel as fresh as someone else might feel who are sleeping for 8 hours but not having a sound sleep.
Yeah.
So we need to experiment and understand our own body clock. What is the best hours of our sleeping? What is the best time to eat? What suits our body? We are just looking at advertisements and ordering pizzas, and some are ordering Subways because that is supposed to be healthy. So people need to see what is suiting their body. If you are eating something and within 15 minutes, if you are feeling bad, if you are feeling really lethargic, like the energy has been drained out of your body, that is because your gut at that time is using your entire energy to process that food.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is another factor, body clock, which everyone needs to figure out of their own. It's not the same for everyone. Then there is water intake. People are drinking. Some people don't drink water at all. They just drink whenever they are thirsty, and this is because of the people they are following on social media. Someone might endorse that you should only drink water when you are thirsty. Someone might endorse that you need to drink 3 liters of water every day, no matter what. And these are the things that people are not thinking about themselves.
Well, I'll have some then.
So people are not thinking about what their body really needs. They are just following something that they have been taught or being endorsed by someone.
Yeah.
Our body is made of 70% water. So if you do not intake the right amount of water, it is going to hamper all of your body processes.
Okay.
Acha, then how do you figure out these things? By experimenting?
By experimenting, of course. So for a week, you can drink about 1 liter of water and only drink when you are feeling thirsty, and see how energetic you are feeling throughout the week.
Okay.
And how good your body feels, how good your mind feels about it, because water intake leads to secretion of certain hormones which indirectly affect our mental state, which indirectly affect our physical state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are, I think, these were the these were the factors that can help you fight if you have any depression, or if you're struggling with something. But what my main question, I don't think I put it correctly, was, for instance, I have a friend who I fought with, or I have some issue, like I don't want to do science, I want to do something else, but my parents are forcing me to, or any other thing like that. If someone is going through that, then what advice would you give them? Because they are, they don't feel open about it, they don't want to talk about it, they just keep it within them, it eats them up, and then they become how do I say that, they become very soggy, they become very irritated all the time. So what advice would you give them? Because obviously these factors, sunlight, water, and a proper sleep, they obviously help you in maintaining your mental state. But when someone is really affected by something other than his or her daily schedule, what advice would you give them to make sure that they are on the right path and they don't go on any other path?
So that was my next point.
Okay.
People should have a purpose to live for, and that is the most important thing. Unless you have something in mind that I want to do this, I want to achieve this, no amount of motivation, no amount of coaching is ever going to help you. And that is related to the point that you said, because someone in the family took science, and they are doing really well now. So you should also take science, because that is the field to be in, that is the niche these days. But parents as well as children need to be open about talking to each other about these things.
Okay.
Social pressure is there. It's obviously there. A lot of movies have come that are teaching us these things, like Three Idiots, R. Madhavan's case.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, you need to figure out what you really want to do. The problem these days is we focus on what we don't want.
Okay.
And like you said, I don't want to do science. Okay, you don't do science. What do you want to do then? That is
Mm-hmm.
the first step. You need to figure out what you actually want to do. And then maybe you can say that this is not my thing and I would rather do this. Like if I'm an artist, I would go for arts instead of science, even if it leads to wasting a couple of years of my science study. That is absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to help you in the future.
So that is what I have heard this. The education system in Israel is like after completing their military service, they go to like for a year, they just roam the world and like find their purpose. So I feel in India, wasting. In India, if you waste a year, it's like, भाई ये बच्चे से तुम दूर रहो. Parents and like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
सबको ऐसा लगता है.
There's a negative vibe around that person. If you feel
Yes.
that he's not academically good, that means he's not a good person to be with.
Exactly.
He is not good company.
Yeah.
So how do you find the purpose in your life?
Okay.
As you said, and purpose is important.
Being a student being a student in India, like how do you fight with this? Because you can't change the perspective of everyone around you, but you have to fight these norms. You have to like overcome them. So how do you? So like for example, if you were, I mean, you obviously were very, you fought so many things, but for like putting yourself in that place, what would be the next step that you take?
Okay. So, as I said, the next step would be figuring out what I want. That is the first step. Because without that, if I don't know what I want, no matter how much I try to convince someone that this is not what I'm supposed to do, they will not be convinced. Only when you are convinced, this is what I want to do. And when you talk about social pressure will always be there. I don't care if you are 80 years old, social pressure will always be there. So we need to work on ourselves on how to, we need to prioritize what is important, what is not. And to do this, there are so many great practices that started from India or, came from abroad but are being followed in India. For example, meditation is there, yoga is there. What we are doing is we are just looking at the glamour part of it and we are joining gym. That is what we do, and all we want is six-pack abs. That's it, nothing else. Bulging biceps and six-pack abs.
Attention.
I don't care how I feel. Attention.
The temporary attention.
Temporary attention.
Yes, temporary attention.
So what you should do is, start practicing these things. Start practicing yoga. Today is International Yoga Day when we are having this podcast. So no better time to say this. You need to start learning about yoga and start practicing it. And it's really simple. The government of India has themselves, put a PDF out there for the public that teaches you the basics of yoga and some basic asanas that will help you keep your body fit and flexible.
We'll link that PDF in the description so
Sure.
you can have a glance.
Yeah, we can do that. And second thing is meditation. Now, what we are doing is we are downloading some applications that say, we'll teach you how to meditate. We'll help you meditate. That's there so that you can learn to focus a little bit on the music that is being played and what is being said in the application. But that's not meditation. Meditation is when you are 100% focused on what you are doing right now. It does not have to be sitting in a posture with your eyes closed. That's not meditation. Meditation is when you are 100% focused on what you are doing right now. And one of the ways I practice it is except calls, none of the notifications on my phone play any sound or any vibration.
Okay. So no distractions at all.
No distraction. That is one way, a very small way of starting to meditate. And of course, the best thing and the best time is when you are alone, when you have a space where you won't be disturbed, and all you need to do is focus on your breathing. Just focusing on breathing is going to help alleviate anxiety. It is going to de-stress you, de-stress your body as well as mind. And to top all of that, once you start understanding yourself, exploring yourself, the outer noise, this social pressure that we are talking about becomes less and less important.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
And one more big issue that I would like to address here is we focus a lot on curing something. We wait for it to happen and then we go for a cure.
Sure, yes.
Let me be the first person to tell you, once you are into depression, it's difficult to come out. It is easier to prevent it.
Okay.
And that is not what the focus has been in our generation or even generations before that. We don't do what things will prevent the bad state of mind, the bad mental health, the bad physical health. So yoga, meditation, to some extent even affirmations. Once you learn how to use affirmations, they are a great tool to kickstart your day or help you feel better. And the most important thing that is missing, which has kind of come back with coronavirus affecting us, is practicing gratitude, because now a lot of people are thankful that they are home, they are safe, they are healthy.
Yeah.
This is what we should be thinking even if there was no coronavirus. And we just don't focus on what we have. That is the problem. We only focus on what we don't have. What we are yet to achieve, what we don't have. So this is also one very good way of even coming out of depression. If you start making a list of the things you are grateful for, I am sure anyone can list at least 100 things if they think carefully, and that is going to really start your transformation process, coming out of that state.
Okay, so like for example, if I am I am in that state and I want to improve, so first of all I need to just ignore all the negativity from the friend circle or from my phone, going on Instagram, getting in a fight with someone, or I have to avoid it. I have to put all of my attention and concentration in things that I live for, the things that I want, and obviously the features that you told us about, sunlight, about water retention and all of that they all together in turn helps a person to develop mentally and emotionally.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Acha. So as you said, talking to your circle or inner circle, talking to friends, family is like important. So till what extent is that important? Or
it's very, very important actually, because the major reasons of having all these negative feelings, depression, anxiety, is because you don't express yourself, you don't talk to anyone about your problems. That is the major reason for these. There has been a survey conducted over 25 years on approximately 1,000 people, after which we have come to know that the most important factor in happiness is good relationships.
Okay.
So
that is nice.
So talking to people will definitely help you feel better. You yourself must have experienced, when you are not feeling well and just call someone and talk your heart out.
Yeah.
Immediately it makes you feel so good.
Correct.
And this lockdown has told us like calling or video call is the only option to talk to your friends or like who stay away or like that.
Yeah. So usually what we used to do was we used to think wo busy hoga, they used to think ye busy hoga, and we just never connected with each other, and until we met somewhere we did not really connect. So that is another positive that lockdown has brought.
Okay. So but don't you feel that lockdown has has actually it has stretched or enlarged the depression factor or the that factor of anxiety and stuff, because now people are forced to stay within the four walls that they live in for more than 4 months now. So don't you feel like people are starting to feel more they're starting to feel more depressed, or it's all very dark and everything like that, that scenario?
Yeah, because have you ever seen people who are in a jail, who are just in those four walls? Even if they are a happy camper and they just made some mistake because of which they went into the jail, after a few weeks or months, they are so negative, and they are so depressed because they are not seeing anything else other than these four walls.
Yeah.
And I understand that Corona, because of Corona, the lockdown was initiated. We were not asked to leave our homes. There is no one stopping you from leaving at 6 a.m., having a 15-minute walk in nature and coming back, not interacting with anyone.
Yeah.
It's not a disease that is airborne. So once again, media has played a big role in making people afraid of going out. If you take the proper precautions, if you are going out and you are not meeting anyone, there's no way you're going to contract the damn disease.
Yeah.
And
so media, or in a way, people have exaggerated the Corona thing.
Yes.
In some ways.
They all want some spice because they're all bored in this quarantine. So maybe for that, the WhatsApp messages that you get, don't touch this, don't do this, don't go there, don't do that. Maybe all of these reasons, maybe I feel is because they're all bored in this quarantine, or I don't know, they just like creating that habit.
I don't know who creates them. I think there must be some kind of agency that might be doing this thing, because we as innocent users, we don't think where this message must have originated from. If I'm getting that message from Ruturaj, I know that okay, he's a decent guy, then this must be true. I don't care where he has received it, and the chain goes on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Corona is not dangerous and that it will not affect you if you go about roaming about. But if you are not touching anything, if you are wearing your mask, there is no way of contracting that disease.
Correct,
Now
yeah.
people are even scared of their family living at home. If someone just goes out of the door and they come back, they are like, go immediately take a bath first and then I'll talk to you. So there's that fear that has been pumped into people again and again by media and social media both.
Okay. Correct, yeah. Okay, so I think the last question that I'd like to ask you for this is, what are your takes on the teenage part of life? So do you feel that, so like every teenager, he or she, because of adolescence, they go under a certain mindset, under certain feelings like hormones and various other aspects. So what advice would you like to give everyone to make sure that they do not suffer because of this, and they I mean, everyone has to, but the suffering part is less, and they try to make sure that they develop themselves and their mindset?
So the foremost thing I would say is developing good habits. The issue is these days we have so many things available right on our screen, like Netflix, and people will go without sleep for 2 days. I know such people of my age. I'm not even a teenager anymore, and people of my age are spending days at a stretch binge watching series, and that is where the problem lies. The changes that come to you when you are going through adolescence, that is absolutely natural. Everybody goes through that. And no matter what you do, some of the things will change you, some of the things will feel bad, some of the things might feel good, but the thing is not to let that hamper your overall peace of mind. And that can only be done when you are focused, when you are working towards something, when you are exercising, for your mind, for your body, for your spirit. When you are practicing gratitude, there are these things that we need to start teaching in schools before the adolescence age begins. That is not happening. I remember when I was in school, there was one lecture called value education or moral science, whatever they called it. Supposed to be the most important 15 minutes of the day. First of all, that had 15 minutes, whereas history, geography, everything has at 1 hour each day. And to top that, in those 15 minutes, what we were made to do was sing national anthem and some prayer. So there was not really any value that was being added into that time. That is what we need to change in the education system. And if that change is going to take time, at least what we can do is educate the people in our family, in our relatives. Parents should take onus about this to teach their children about moral values. So without moral values, there is no end to the kind of darkness that you can fall into. That is what I feel.
Correct. Even the content they consume also plays an important role.
It's really dark. It's dark content. There's a series called Dark on Netflix. And people are loving it. I don't understand. I have not seen it, but just its name, and I just read about its theme. It did not excite me at all. So that is the problem. People are, wanting to watch things that will make them feel bad.
Yes.
And those things are being advertised more. There's a series called Cosmos, which tells you about the scientific breakthroughs and where man has reached. Actually. But even people in their late 20s or early 30s, when I'm comparing what they are watching, what is the kind of content that they are consuming, they would rather watch 4 more shorts, please, than watch Cosmos.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think that would be a wrap. This was like a very, very enriching session. Thank you so much for joining us. It was really helpful, and I'm sure like people who would be listening to this, people who would be watching this on YouTube, they'd be really I think they'll be helped by your techniques, your teachings, and please make sure that I request you to shout out your book again, so that people who are really in need, they can actually buy it, and chapter wise they can solve their problems and they can go through with their life peacefully.
So I think we can post the book link.
The link would be there in the description.
So the book is The Power Is Yours. The power is absolutely yours and no one else's. No one is going to come and change your life. It is your life. You have to change it. I request everyone, to take control of their life. And if my book helps them do that, then nothing like this. That is why I have written it. I have not written it for any monetary gain. I have written it so that I can help people. To reach out to the masses. And it is available on Kindle as well as paperback on Amazon. I'll be sharing the links soon.
We'll share the links of everything, sir's handles and everything will be linked in the description. Show some love and it would eventually be knowledgeable to you
and helpful to you at the same time.
And thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to come and speak about such a sensitive topic. Not many people are willing to help others. That's a very good quality. Keep it up. Thank you
so much, sir. Thank you. So I think I'll cut the recording here. So it was really nice talking to you, like outside the recording too. It was really nice. It will help a lot of people.